Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Innate State. We've got Scarlett with us today.
Hello.
And also Thomas. He's going to be in the background, and Russell, of course, and you can see him. he's on the cameras on Russell as well.
Oh, they've got extra cameras.
Because he's not so shy anymore. And he's coming out of his shell.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, but first we're going to start with our traditional meditation.
Traditional? How traditional?
It's very traditional.
African drums?
No, not like that. And just to center ourselves.
Okay, perfect.
Is that cool?
Yeah, no, that's 100%. Okay.
All right, just sit with your feet apart, and I'll take us into it. Okay, Scarlett?
Okay, perfect.
So just take a couple of deep breaths. And just on every out breath, allow yourself to relax a little bit more. And if there's any thoughts, just come back to your breath. when you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself out.
Hello.
Scarlett.
Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome. Russell, Thomas.
Thank you.
How was it for you, Scarlett?
Amazing. Yeah, meditation's my thing. I try and do it daily. I've been really bad though. The last couple of weeks, distractions.
When you normally do it in the evening?
No, in the morning. So first thing,
I'm
I'll
also-
wake up like 5 o'clock in the morning, have a little bit of extra time. I'll meditate, brew some coffee, have some coffee, go for a run, exercise, whatever, and then start my day and work.
Okay, that
And
sounds good anyway.
Yeah, I take a lot of time for myself in the mornings, like long
Yeah.
pauses, like slow start. Usually by like 10 o'clock I'll start working.
What kind of meditation do you practice?
I do all sorts. It depends. Guided, musical, silent, breathwork.
Whatever you're in the mood for.
Yeah, whatever I'm in the mood for. I like
Yeah.
let the universe like guide me and show me what to
Okay.
do. Yeah, and I like to play around with like new techniques and things, and it's something that you have to center yourself.
Yeah.
Before you go out there in the world,
No,
like
100%.
energies are hectic.
That's healthy. That's
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah.
Also, I do it in the morning.
Yeah.
But I do the same thing every day.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, but that's amazing though. Like if
Yeah.
something works for you, you don't have to change it.
You don't have to change it. If it works, it works.
Yeah, and then also
Yeah.
at night I like to do binaural beats, program my mind,
Yeah.
and things when I'm sleeping. And then I like to fuck
When
around.
did you kind of start doing it?
Meditation.
Like when did that kind of come about?
That was quite a while back, like 15 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, already.
And what kind of started it?
So my whole entire spiritual journey, how it started was I think 19. At that stage, I moved out when I was 17, and I choked on an apple in my house.
Yeah.
And at that stage, it's a rocky time in my life, to be honest with you. And I realized that if I die, I'm going to die alone. And
But you choked like seriously, like you were going to die
bad.
choking.
Yeah, I was going to, it was hectic. And I realized that the Bible wasn't working for me, to be honest with you. And because at that
did
moment,
you grow up, obviously, with
Christianity was
Christianity
there.
and church, et
Yeah,
cetera,
it was
et cetera.
there.
Okay.
It wasn't like a deep practice in our house.
Okay.
And I realized that at that moment I didn't feel connected to God, to spirit. And that's kind of like started my journey, like choking on an apple. And I started looking around, and I looked into Buddhism because I felt like I needed more discipline in my life. And that was the journey. And eventually just went down the rabbit hole, and I've like looked into quite
this
a few
and that, and I mean, there's so many
practices
things
and all of that. But even when I was
workshops.
younger, my mom like did Reiki. She taught me about auras and things.
So she was into a bit of alternative stuff.
Yeah, and my dad did tarot cards, but back then it was like really evil.
Yeah, it was voodoo. It was a bit of voodoo, eh?
It was like, no.
Yeah.
And so I've always been exposed to it, and I've always had quite a deep passion in anything spiritual, esoteric, all of the deeper, the secrets, the conspiracies, like you can call it now. But that's my life. It's like, I also love to change people's lives. So for me,
in what way? What are you doing? Like,
what do I do?
yeah, like how do you
not
change
do?
your lives? How would you do that?
Well, to give you a little bit of background
Just a bit of background, yeah.
who I am,
Yeah.
I'm like Scarlett Moon, the mischief maker and shaker. No.
Okay, what does that mean, Scarlett? Sounds naughty.
I'm a little
It's a naughty
pixie.
laugh, eh?
I'm a full-time model, dancer, and actress. And then I'm also a breakthrough coach, and I do brand identity development.
Okay, so now, sorry, let's just go. What is breakthrough coach? What is that?
I literally break through people's limitations in themselves. So I take you, and you're like an onion, and I peel you till we get to the core of all of your shadows, and I bring all of the shadow out, and I make you blossom into a beautiful, more authentic
So
person.
you start seeing all your blockages and
yes, I'm a
your
shadow
issues,
walker.
like your issues and your
Well, not issues. Like I
What?
think
like traumas.
people see it in a bad light. Like in the end of the day, your shadow or whatever is in the darkness that you're hiding so nicely from.
You got to put a light on it.
Yeah, you have to put a light on it, and it's where you learn to grow. Like, I mean, when the moon's up, that's when the plants grow. When it's dark, that's where all of the work goes in. When it's winter, you have to cultivate the soil so that you can actually reap the benefits when the fruit's there and your crop is grown. So I do tend to go and aggravate all of the nooks and crannies.
So you kind of like prod it a little bit.
And then I uproot that, because in the end of the day, there's this whole life coaching like trend and things, and what people don't understand is, like, if you bring me your problems and I give you a plan to do it, you won't do it. Like, I'm sorry, you won't do it.
You've got to take action. If you're not going to take action, it's not going to happen.
But not even that. Do you know what it is? It's like people would be doing the things that they want to do if they didn't have all of these safety mechanisms and things that they've built throughout their lives. And most of the times when I actually delve into a person and we get to all of these things and we uproot the garden and we replant whatever needs to be replanted, they find themselves in a place where they don't want to do those things anymore, because it was never actually really aligned with who they were.
It's not supporting them, and it's not supporting their life, really.
Yeah, or it was just not aligned with who they truly are, because in our society, we have grown up in a place where we have to mask. Everything is fake, and
putting on the smiling face all day.
Yeah, we don't know how to be our authentic selves, because we are so disconnected as society. We're so connected, but so disconnected at the same time, that it's very hard for people to keep their vibrational frequency open. And that's what pure authenticity actually really is. It is something that you genetically born with. It's DNA
an innate
code.
thing. It's innate within us.
Your DNA code already makes you unique. That's the thing. You already have it.
But the stories limit you.
Yeah, the stories, but every person should still have their story. Your narrative is still very
But you've got to become aware of it.
Yeah, you have to see your own bullshit.
So you show them. It's your shit.
Yeah.
You've got to put a light on the shit.
That's it,
because most people aren't willing to see it.
Yeah.
So how long does that take? What is that process? It's not a 3-session process.
No, it's not.
No.
However, it depends how willing someone is.
Depends on the person.
Yeah.
But how long could it take? Take years.
Yeah, I've got some clients that's been with me for multiple years. Because here's the thing is also, everyone thinks it's like, oh, fix my life. I have problems. Now let's resolve them. And the thing is, like, with life, there's always the balance. There is always whatever you embody, there's going to be something that's the opposite. So as soon as you work through something, something else comes up. And then you have to work through that.
No, it's a continuous thing. I sat with a teacher and a psychologist for 12 fucking years in a circle, and she was pointing out that shit for years until eventually all the shit's gone.
Yeah, and the thing is, I do believe if you go like deep, and there's always like the root cause of what's happening, and a lot of the root causes is from childhood itself, because as a child you don't have enough emotional intelligence to actually deal with whatever is happening in your life, and even the most.
So you suppress it.
Yeah, you suppress it, and then we don't get taught to actually deal with our shit when we are capable of.
No, but also
it.
that comes out in aggression or whatever the case is in life.
Yeah, but
as an adult.
Yeah, as an adult. But in the end of the day, emotions also is exactly what it is. It's something that needs to be set into motion. So a lot of people are also so scared to feel, because all of our heart centers are closed off. We basically, what we feel keeps us safe is our electromagnetic field, that your heart keeps it open. And that's authenticity, is if you can keep your heart space open, because then everyone can feel your frequency. It's like tuning into a radio station.
Yeah, 100%.
And people can
hear.
And
you're at a higher frequency.
Yeah, and people can hear, like, listen here, oh no, they only speak Afrikaans here or whatever. I'm not going to tune into it. But as soon as we pull ourselves in and we put our shields on, no one can truly feel your magnetic field.
No.
And then you start attracting everything and everyone that's wrong in your life, because they can't feel you.
But that attraction is there to help you to shift as well.
Yeah, well, it depends. Like,
at times.
If you can't feel it, you can't shift. So you have to keep that heart space open. And it is so essential for me to teach people to keep that field open.
How do you teach them that? I'm just a brief.
So just to
brief,
first start to understand your electromagnetic field, but also with working with energy itself, we have energy levels, and most of us are either too open from the top downwards, or we too open from the bottom upwards, and especially men in society, and that's one of my niche
Yeah, going
markets.
to that, you were talking about
Yeah.
the divine masculine and the
Yeah,
divine feminine.
feminine.
I'm interested in
Yeah,
that.
so my greatest passion in life is to bridge the gap between the divine masculine and feminine.
Okay.
A lot of my career and everything, being a model, being a dancer and all of that, I've worked with men for a long time. They've really supported my career. And one thing I've realized is with society, the main factor that's in play is the fact that men are being suppressed from their heart frequency so that they can deliver their honor and their direction to manufacturers, to the industrials, to the consumer industry. Because obviously if men find their honor and their direction again, they're going to look at their communities and feel, fuck, what's going on? And they're going to start dreaming and building for those things. So if men's hearts are shut down, it stops the frequency from going from the bottom upwards into their brain, where it actually activates the pineal gland, the crystals in the brain, which activates the dream state. And for a man, it is absolutely essential to dream again, and most men has lost their dreams, their visions,
and just in life in general.
Yeah, and the community, and that is life force energy. And how they do that is actually, I do say the porn industry has a lot to do with it. It makes men only focus, and most women
it's
also
limiting.
Sexual energy is creation energy. So it's life force energy. That is the energy that drives us to do whatever we want to in life, that we're passionate about. So it's not just sex. So now what's happening is there's an emphasis on sex, because the easiest way to transmute energy is to use your creation energy. So people think if a lot of trauma comes out in kinks or things like that, because you think you can shift the traumatic experiences that you had through sexual energy, but it's actually just life force energy. So for me, it's very, very important to reactivate the dream state in men's minds.
So you're coming from
bring it up
from a higher place than so base. In a sense.
You want to bring it up into the heart, open up the heart frequency. And if the heart's open, everything else balances down. So there is the two methods, is the upward method and the downward method, but the new way to do it.
At the heart.
But the new way is to focus on the heart. Heart space. If you can get that heart space to stay open, that electromagnetic field pulls everything into the directions it needs to go, and it stays balanced. And in this whole era and how things are, men and women got separated, and I believe, and this is just my opinion about very big things, there is the opposing, the 1%, whatever you want to call them, that needed men and women to be separated, because if we're together, we're quite powerful, and men will then honor the communities again, and women will be contained like they should. The whole movement of feminism and everything, I respect everyone's opinion and journeys in that, but in the end, a woman can only really truly ease into her feminine self if she has a masculine container. And I'm not saying it needs to be in relationship, or energies like masculine and feminine can be embodied in, doesn't matter what gender you are. However, women are supposed to be together. We have been separated. Beauty standards has made us insecure and hate each other. We are struggling on our own, looking after children, having to work in a masculine industry where even our energy system does not work the same as a man's energy. We've got like a month cycle, whatever the woman's cycle is, to regenerate our energy, where men can regenerate every 24 hours. So it's easier for men to go and do things, and for women
have that
to
kind of stressful lifestyle,
because it actually
woman.
thrives. So now all of these imbalances are happening, and we have all of these opinions about each other, and in the end of the day, it is so essential for humanity to meet back in the heart. Women have to drop back into becoming nurturers, and that's nurturing each other and ourselves. Women don't sit with each other. Men don't either. Men don't get together. They don't activate and initiate each other into like manhood in the first place, men are so scared to bring their emotions up. Obviously, genetically, for so many generations.
Don't cry. Boys don't cry.
And all of that.
It's all bullshit.
And it's so, like, in your genetic print where, like, now women, are we kind of like, we're in a good place. Women are in boardrooms and we're doing our things, and I do believe we have to drop back into nurturing.
There's a place for that as well,
No,
but there needs to be a balance.
There is.
And I think if I look at society as well, people become so obsessed with the lifestyle.
Yes.
That's why women and men are both working, etc., trying to
so
keep a certain lifestyle. So there's this fear of losing that lifestyle, in a sense. But at the end of the day, you know, there has been a shift, but the way I see it, Scarlett,
Charlotte.
Charlotte, sorry.
It's fine. My alter ego.
It's life unfolding.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Yeah.
But you're aware of it.
Yeah, I'm seeing a greater, and there's quite a big shift. There's lots of people doing this work, and really seeing
it's a global shift that's actually happening.
We're not meant to live the way we are. We are not. We are supposed to be in community and very closely knitted together, where the saying comes from, it takes a village to look after a child, you know? And the dynamics would have been like, you would have had men that would have left, done their things, men that would have stayed. The woman would have all been together.
And the grandmothers, whatever would have been there.
Yeah, a woman would have passed down.
Teaching the kids wisdom.
Many different adults looking after all of the kids. And the kids would have had a very diverse upbringing, where they would get from Bob, the builder, or whatever he is, something specific. And then this from this person.
And the carpenter and the flippin' whoever.
Yes, we are supposed to learn from each other and grow with each other. And that's what humanity is. It's like every relationship is a mirror. It literally shows you parts of yourself. And without this dynamic connection, we don't thrive. And there's an overemphasis on romantic relationships now, which obviously they want. If you look at how romance is being advertised on TV, that is all broken attachment styles. That is the cat and mouse game, the whole, and it's unhealed
all that shit.
trauma.
It's all that stuff that's played out like in movies and stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it's literally unhealed trauma.
Yeah.
So we are literally bombarded with these broken images of love, and that's not truly how it works.
No.
So we end up marrying, and I'm not saying there's something wrong with only having one partner. The only problem is you start putting overemphasis on only one person, and you expect them to fulfill every role that a whole entire community would have fulfilled in you. And if you look at the structure, like, a woman would have felt much safer and contained if there was a lot of men doing things. I cannot discredit men at all. Without men, most of the things wouldn't have been built. Wars wouldn't have been fought. Like, I mean, men have such a good place in society. And we're at a crucial point now where if women continue the way they do, we don't need men. We are going to tip the scale, and men are going to become suppressed. And then what happens? All structure will fall.
It's kind of just going to the opposite extreme.
Yeah, we don't want to be there.
Which isn't necessary.
So my whole entire life purpose in going forward now is to call women in and say, let's become nurturers. Let's drop into being feminine again. Most women don't know how it feels to be truly feminine because they've not grown up with a strong masculine container. Dads were absent. Whatever the stories are there.
Divorced or whatever the case may be.
And then most of the men have been brought up to not be like their fathers, so they've been masculized, or whatever the word is.
Masculinized.
There we go.
If there's such a word.
I think, And so now we've got men that's super soft and women that's super strong, and like, women shouldn't be soft. We water. Water is like destructive. Water can be intense, it can be stormy, but we need to be able to flow and adapt. And men are the structure of society, the stronghold.
But it's still the balance.
Yeah, that's the balance.
Like you're saying, men have to become in touch with their feelings, but they still they're still productive.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
So that's where the balance comes in.
Yeah, men are doers, but funny enough, men still embody feminine traits. So it's good for a man to have be in touch with his femininity, if we can say it like that, because that's the dream. That is the creativity. Women are the creators, creative energy. However, men are also that. So it's funny how women look at fishing and they're like, oh, it's so boring. That is when men like become beings. They just be. That's what women do all the time. So women look at like fishing and think, oh, that's so boring, because women do things to relax. They'll bake a cake or paint a picture or do things.
And guys will rather go chill.
Yeah, and men want
what?
to be. So men are doers and women are beings. And we embody both of that. And it's so important for us to get in touch with both our energies, because everything in this like world works with two opposing energies. And that's how we need to just balance. And that's a key factor that we're missing, is the fact is we're missing each other.
And also, Scarlett, is what I've come to learn over the years is, like, so I've been married a long time. And there's easy times and there's not easy times. Because that's part of life. But the person is a reflection of what's going inside or going on within you. There's a mirror. And you're learning that person is forever reflecting back at you. And those issues perhaps that you have assist you in growing spiritually in your life.
Definitely.
When you work through that stuff.
Just stepping stones.
It's stepping stones. But you know, when you're like ignorant in your early days and you're like, nah, this is shit and wah, you don't realize those are gifts.
They are,
because you're there together to learn and to grow together.
Definitely. And we live in a society where it's instant gratification and everyone's so scared for commitment. And there's nothing better than to positively own someone or something. If you think about it, if you say, this is my dog. My dog, I need to take care of my dog. So you don't want your dog to suffer and have a broken leg or not eat. Or that's the true meaning of love, is to have containmentship in each other. So if you claim your best friend, this is my best friend, you actually take on responsibility for the well-being of that person or that thing. And it's such a beautiful thing, because in the end of the day, you can only love that person because it's them.
And also because you're accepting them for who they are. Without trying to change them.
You can't change anyone.
You can't change someone.
You can find other ones.
Yeah, you can find. You know, and we're not saying that everyone must stay together forever, because some people are just not compatible. But the relationships ebb and flow. The fact is that you got to accept that person for what they're about to a certain extent. And that's love. Is a form of acceptance.
The thing is, you can never lose love, because love is so uniquely based on the experience between the individual and the self, that I can't, and a lot of people make this mistake when they break up with a partner. They try and go and find someone else to love exactly the same, and you can't. So in the end of the day, jealousy is such a weird concept for me, because you can only have that experience with that one person, specifically how it is. So even if they go, if they go and love someone else, they cannot love that person the way they love you. So it's so uniquely woven, like relationships between each other, that people are looking from it like at like a little like point of what the bigger picture is.
They've got no clue of what's actually going on.
And they have no patience. So I mean, like, I went through like a patch. I used to be married. I was married for like 14 years.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, I got married very young, and we just grew. Like we became.
Grew apart eventually.
Yeah, you change. We're still really good friends.
Okay.
Still family to me. However, after that, like, I mean, I started seeing him when I was, I think, 21 or 20, and then I fell into this new age dating scene. Like, I was just like, what is Tinder, dating apps? Like, I actually had to ask my sister, who was like 17 at that moment, like, I'm busy texting someone and they're not texting me back anymore. Like, what's going on? She's like, oh, you got ghosted. I was like, what the fuck is ghosting?
Now, what do you mean?
And so we live in a society where we're so scared of loving, but it's not us creating those imagery and those concepts in our head, because love is easy. Actually, love is such a natural emotion to feel when the heart space is open, when you're brave enough to take that step. It's not us, it's the things we're watching, it's the things we're seeing, and it's the media itself that's literally brainwashing us to believe that we don't need each other. And it's so essential for humanity to unite, because I do believe that greater things will happen, and it is busy happening. There is groups of people across the world. Like, I've been following quite a lot of like different gurus and whatever you name it, there's a lot of people doing the work and showing people. It's really not as bad as what people think. It's just that cultivation of the garden. When you actually walk in, you're like, oh my fuck, I actually did
There's
not.
a lot of weeds, yeah.
Yeah, I actually have not watered this garden in like so many years.
This garden's in shit. I need fertilizer, I need water.
Yeah, but when you delve in there and when you actually get in there, it's not as much as what you think it is, because it's all about just recognizing what it is.
But it also takes courage.
It does.
There's a lot of courage.
Yeah, but if one person does it, like if one person usually jumps in the water, everyone wants to jump in the water.
Part of the, you can try and save the planet and etc. But the greatest thing you can actually do is to work on yourself.
But do you know why? Like, it's because there is the ether and the interconnectedness.
Yeah. So if you sort yourself out, it goes
everywhere.
It spreads out.
And I am seeing that with my career. It's like more and more clients are popping and they're speaking all about the same things. Everyone is, the more work that gets done, the more everyone's aligning, the more everyone's stepping in. I'm excited for the first time. I used to be very miserable. I was like, humans, we fucked.
Is it ever going to happen?
Yeah, we fucked. And like now, like I look at things and I was like, it's shit. Like there's a lot of like bad things happening. However, there's a lot of good things, and you have to kind of like run your algorithms. You need to treat your internet and everything in a way that you actually train it to give you what you want.
The good stuff.
Yeah. It's so easy to fall into that death trap of scrolling, and I mean, they call it scrolling in the first place. Like, you have to think about the words that they use and what they call things. You literally, what you're doing is, if they want to do anything, they can expose you on the internet, and when you scroll, it goes into your subconscious brain. So it desensitizes you to certain things. So if you look at female bodybuilding, there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm not criticizing any woman that wants to do that. It was just not as popular.
But it's programming your brain.
Yeah, and the more you start seeing something on the internet, the more you scroll past it, the more you desensitize to the idea of it, the more you would go for that. So if there's anything controversial that they really want to put out there, they start with media first. And then it goes in and it's there and it's programming you. And then by the time you become aware of it, you've actually
too late. You've already changed.
Yeah, you've seen it so many times already. You just didn't know. Subliminal marketing is a big thing.
And I saw a thing where it's basically social media has taken up, like in the past, people would get together and go to bars, etc., and family time and that. Like the number one thing is social media now.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and social media is not
like you
very
can
social.
Find, it's not social.
No.
And people get lost in it. I even find myself getting lost in it sometimes. But then I'll find, if I'm working, I'll leave my phone in the car, because I sometimes do contracting stuff. It's the best day.
Yeah.
I look at it at lunchtime, put it back in the cubby, I'll carry on. Sometimes you need that just as a break.
You need to be present
you need
in
to
your
be
life.
You're not present when you're busy looking through it,
Yeah,
or do something constructive, like, I don't know, business posts or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, like for me, it's like social media is my job.
But it's part of your, part of your business.
Yeah, I have to have very strict time with myself, because I'm going to be on it all the time. So if I'm going to allow it to distract
me, you've got to be disciplined.
No, definitely. Like I learned very quickly, the dangerous slope, that one. And don't air your dirty laundry on the internet, guys. Can we just stop doing that?
So tell me something else, Scarlett. I know you're also doing work with business people. You were talking about, I think, breathwork and stuff.
Yeah, breathwork.
So what is that about?
Yeah, so on this course that I'm writing it's a course on transmuting sexual energy into life force energy for men. I work with my partner, Thomas. That's there.
Hello, Thomas.
And he's the he's actually the breathwork.
Is he the breathwork guru?
He's the guru. I can't take credit for that.
Okay. And so how does that help the CEOs or whoever you're dealing with?
Grounding.
Is it grounding?
Yeah, like grounding is your main thing.
Okay.
You cannot do anything in life if you're not centered and grounded. Otherwise, you either up there too much or you're just all over the place. And so with the businesses that I work with, is I try and align with brands that want to create their own authentic voice on the internet. And I partner with quite a lot of brands that I think should be seen more, because it's very, very difficult now to advertise. I mean, you just drive at night and the light pollution of the billboards and things, it is just bombarding us with information. So it's so essential, not just for businesses and for products, but for individuals, people, to start to get to know their voice, because your voice, your throat chakra, that is the thing that draws things into your reality. Your words, the things that you speak and say, is what you need to use to steer you through this universe.
Yeah.
So it's so essential to actually have that. So I try and coach people and their brands, and I'm very creative, so I love to create concepts and stories and things. So I'm always there to tell people how shit they're doing, but they can do better. And then help them to find that.
So just give me an example. So say you come to a business, you're not going to say, look, we need to do breathwork, or you're going to say, where's it going to take them? Or,
so each and every...
it's obviously unique to each business.
Very. So with everyone, one of the things that we're focusing on now is we've got a tour coming up. If there's any sponsors listening to this,
tell us about the tour.
We're going all the way down through from here to Cape Town, all the way back, looking at venues. So we are helping venues, lodges, vacation places to integrate more wellness into their
kind of the offerings.
Yeah, the offerings.
Not just massage therapy or something.
Yeah, so it's literally ceremonies, whatever we can offer there, bring in a complete wholeness, everything from food, and then he does the ecosystems and things. I'm not I'm not the one that's the boffin there. And we want to basically, our focus is wherever we go, we want to leave a footprint that's better, leave things behind.
What is it called?
It's Tiger Moon. Yeah, that's our company. So it's an adventure. We also do adventure. We do travel tours, all of that. So it's, for me, my network is my net worth.
So you want to, so in these perhaps spas or lodges or whatever, you'll plan ahead and you'll have a little workshop there. Yeah,
so a workshop. We're also shooting our podcasts.
Perhaps, or whatever the case is.
We're also shooting podcasts, so we're also filming the venues and all of that. And then I'm helping them with their social medias and things, because there's so many amazing businesses in South Africa. There's so much opportunity in South Africa. I don't know why everyone's oh, it sucks here. I was you're definitely not an entrepreneur, because all I see is just opportunity. We can all make money. And for me, it's bridging that gap again. It's back to I want to bring people together. I want to introduce people to the right people, because my network is big. It's vast. I know a lot of people. For an introvert,
you don't seem like an introvert, Scarlett.
I am.
Introvert.
Yeah, no. So what people don't understand is most of the things I do alone. So if I shoot content or whatever, I'm alone doing it. And when I'm networking, that's work for me. So when I'm socializing, it's actually networking.
So it's your other side is coming out a little bit.
Yeah, there's a little, introverts aren't sociopaths. They actually they actually want to have human connection still, and friends and stuff. They just don't like doing it in big groups.
They're not depro sitting at home wanting to slit their wrists.
Yeah, no. I love going to festivals, but if you see me at a festival, it's only me running around doing my own thing, speaking to everyone, but it's still
So tell us a little about the festival. We like to go to festivals. We like to dance. Dancing is a thing.
Yeah. No, dancing is my life. I love dancing. And I guess at festivals and stuff, that's the time that I get to dance for myself. And I don't get paid to perform. And I do. Oh, I'm lying. Sorry. For my fire dancing.
You're doing the fire dancing.
Yeah, so I do fire dancing. I do big explosive pyro also. So I dance.
What does that mean? What is explosive pyro? It sounds flippin' scary.
I have equipment.
Do you shoot flippin' rockets out of your hands or something?
That's the idea. I'm still working.
I don't know. It sounds a bit scary.
I have equipment where I have this explosive powder that they use in fireworks and stuff. You can put it in and then you make a big fire.
Like gunpowder kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it's not gunpowder. If I had that, I would most probably shoot people, but it's fine. It's okay. Yeah, so I do that. I perform. I do the burlesque dancing, so go-go dancing. I used to have a production company.
But you're doing that at the festivals as well, or not really?
Yeah, I do. But I tend to, when I do go to festivals, I love to just go just to have fun.
Just to party.
Yeah, just to have fun. Yeah. Connect with people. A lot of festival guys know me. I'm basically...
Are you part of the scene? Are you part of the furniture now.
No, I'm part of the furniture. Like, I've been there for so long, it's like, ancient. I'm giving away my age, like, kind of. Like, not
Which
that
are
I
your
mind.
favorites? Have you been to Bloom before?
Bloom is one of my favorites.
Yeah, we went last year and it was great.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Nick Rater's, like, from some of the first techno tribes ever.
Okay.
So, like, I started raving when I was, like, 16, like, breaking rules, fucking shit up, Like, you have to be young, like, sometimes,
young
and then
and
just stay, I'm still young.
Yeah.
I still act like I'm young. I'm just not dumb anymore, and I have a lot more money. Like, it's great. It's amazing. You
Things
can
are
grow
better,
up, but you don't have to be a grown up, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also not the youngest, but I do enjoy it.
It's nice to go out and it's nice to connect and things. And also, it's a special place for me to share my gifts. And there's always, like, I learn so much from people when I'm at festivals and things. It's always like to go and
And then there's a sense of freedom.
Yeah, like connect and disconnect. Yeah, that's what and then you reconnect after that. It's a type of place where you can just, like, offload. Yeah, I love drum and bass, love techno, like,
Do you listen to much down tempo?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes.
It's also quite
if
nice,
I'm like at
something
home,
different.
like.
But it can be nice at a jol as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It's too slow for me to dance.
Yeah, no, I dig it.
I'm like,
dig it. Yeah,
a lot of
you're a bit
energy.
more hyper.
Yeah.
I find, because we interviewed a guy called Endara,
Okay.
amazing producer. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
And we went to one of their parties and it was just so good.
Oh, that's amazing. I'd love to go and check that out.
And it was grinding as well. It was.
I love
it's not
that.
as fast as the techno.
Yeah, but that's nice also
but it
sometimes.
still had that, like you could move to it,
Yeah, you still used to. You want that variety also. Like,
I
mean,
love dancing and going into a trance.
Yeah, zone out.
Yeah, like you're on your own planet. I love doing that.
Yeah, no, I like also like dressing up and playing the character. I mean, that's what I do. Life is my stage. Like, I'm always busy with some narrative or story in my head or something needs to happen. So I try and entertain and have fun. Like,
but has it been from a
adventures.
young age, Scarlett?
Yeah.
Like this has been your, like you knew when you were,
I was singing,
I don't know, teenager.
dancing, acting. I like everything I am now. Like, I was basically like that when I was a little girl. Like, maybe a little bit more feisty.
But it was already set in your,
like
it was in the stars.
Yeah, I was very lucky. I think the one thing that saved the inner child in me is the fact that don't tell me what to do. I think that just saved the little girl and she just stayed the same. It's like I kind of always had direction and understanding where I want to go. I always said I'm going to save the world. Didn't know how. People thought I was delusional, needed therapy for that.
Yeah.
But anyways, and now I know, like, I see the vision. It's like I'm really passionate about making a change in the world. And one of the things that I go out to do is, like, I want every person that meets me, I want to leave them with something. And sometimes it's a pain in the ass. Well,
is that they end up leaving with a pain in the ass?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, that's just the joke. some of them might have a pain in the ass, like,
just because they're not happy with what you said, maybe.
Yeah, maybe I triggered them.
But maybe they needed to hear that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But I like being kind. Is one of my virtues. Like,
if someone can practice that every day,
like I go out every day.
It can be free.
Yeah.
It's a free thing. Be kind. Just that you're at the grocery store and you just kind to the teller.
Yeah, just acknowledge
they're also
them.
a person like, hi, how's it? How you feeling? Just simple shit.
No, in the end of the day, they're there to serve you.
And maybe you pick their day up.
That's it. Yeah. No, and like, you would be surprised how words or just saying something or meeting someone or something small that you've done. I've had many people send things in my inbox and say, oh, I just want to thank you for something that I did many years ago.
And you don't even remember it probably.
And it changed their lives.
But it impacted.
And that's the thing is like, I'm here to bring that kindness. And like, I find humanity and humans like very intriguing. Like, I love to go and sit in the hoek van die restaurant and then I like sit and
watch people.
And then watch.
Oh, you're a watcher.
Like, I love watching people. Love it. Like, love eavesdropping. Like, sorry, not sorry, but like, I love like when people feel like they're not being observed. It's like, they act in certain ways that you can pick up where the authentic self, and that's why I'm so good with brands and things, is I can really pick up where the authenticness is and sits, because my core vibrational frequency is so open. I can instantaneously feel what is not mine. And that's also why the heart frequency is so important, because if we don't keep it open, we enmesh with each other's stuff. So you don't know what's yours and what's theirs anymore. So emotionally you become attached and so forth because your heart frequency is not open. You don't know what's yours.
And there's a separation.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Like people I say they're disconnected from the inner self.
Their frequency. Oh, they don't even know.
Like the truth of what they are. They believe that they are that character they're playing out and the person, etc., etc.
And that creates
but
depression.
The mind is, I mean, that's just a story. We are much deeper than that.
Yeah, that's it.
There's an aspect of humans that is beyond their comprehension.
True. That's so
and
true.
Only by working through all that stuff do you even become connected with that.
Yeah.
To realize that it's there. Because it's already there.
Yeah.
It's just all the bullshit is blocking it.
Yeah, and the thing is like no one's unique in their shit either. Like I say to people, it's like, trust me, everyone has problems. You are not unique.
We wouldn't be on
yours.
this planet if we didn't have problems. We're here to learn and grow.
We're in the smallest part of
just by fucking chance.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in the smallest point of, like, one of the smallest points of the universe. Like, we are literally in the most difficult plane as the material plane. And to create anything, it takes a certain amount of sacrifice. It takes a certain amount of pain and hustle and things to actually get any result. Because if you start stopping, if you stand still, literally the sun's like gonna pull your energy back in. You will go backwards, you will die. And that's what it's about. It's about understanding that every choice, everything that you want in life, you're going to have to sacrifice something. So if you look at consequences instead of options, you'll make better choices because you'll know what you need to sacrifice to have something. So in the end of the day, by the time you reach that goal or the thing, you would be ready for whatever you're going to have to give up.
But you're also growing through it.
Yeah.
So you may be sacrificing time in certain things. But on some level, it's serving
you're
its purpose.
gaining. Yeah, you're gaining something. Sometimes you gain bullshit and more heartache because you didn't think it through.
But if you take people in general, and I sometimes quite enjoy doing this as well. Like you're driving, and you always think of like you see, those are people. But there's a unity that's between all people.
Definitely.
And it doesn't matter what language you speak. There are people doing people things, what people fucking do.
People things can be weird things also.
Whatever they're doing, whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Like there's no real separation between us. But the judgment in that creates the separation.
But in the end of the day, like people also in general, I don't want to say people, that's too general, but in the end of the day, if you are, let's say you're judging someone or you have an opinion, let's say you're jealous. Well, this person's got this and this and this. When you actually take that jealousy and you break it down for what it is, the jealousy there is trying to show you what you are desiring and what you want more of. And if you can go underneath these negative emotions, like anger is showing you where you should set a boundary or where a boundary is being overstepped. And if you can start seeing that, and it's sometimes us ourselves that overstep our own boundaries or we break our own boundaries. If you start looking at an emotion, what is being set into motion, why is it being triggered? It is such an essential tool. All of the negative emotions has such a positive reason for being there.
Instead of suppressing them.
Yeah.
But also channeling it in a correct way.
Yeah.
Because if you're
punching
angry,
someone.
you're angry, you're cutting an oak off and you're fighting on the highway, that's not flipping constructive, that's shit.
Yeah. But again, there's a boundary that needs to be set. So if that person is fighting with someone on the highway, they must probably be feeling that they don't have enough time. Their boss is overstepping boundaries. There's always something
there's
there.
numerous flipping...
And it's just becoming aware, like humans should be able to express themselves. If someone is angry, allow the person to be angry. You do not have to now have an emotion because that person's got an emotion. You need to separate yourself from the emotional attachment to other people's emotions. And as soon as an emotion is expressed, then you can go and say, okay, you've had your human moment now. What's going on really underneath the surface? But it's because we have emotional attachments to other people's emotions. When they get emotional, we get emotional. Everyone's fucking dysregulated.
It's like a whole...
But again, it's dysregulation of the nervous system that causes that. So my main thing is with everyone that I work, I will not work with you if you do not do the first steps. And the first steps is regulating your nervous system, getting into your heart space. Because if we don't regulate the nervous system, it's like your soul has got a Mercedes-Benz for this plane. Your body is that. So if you are not fueling your body properly, giving it the oils and the essential things that it needs, it's going to have warning bells. So your ego is your GPS system. It's literally the guide for this plane, just to get this vehicle from one place to another. It's essentially there to keep you safe. That's all that the ego wants to do, is keep you safe. So what happens is you're dysregulated, you're stressed, you're not sleeping right, you're eating crappy food, you're not actually exercising, you're not hydrating. Your body is dying. Your vehicle, your fucking tire is flat, bro. It's like, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, you're stuck on the side of the road, bro.
So now what your ego does, you want to now apply for a new job. The ego goes, bro, you can't even fucking get your car to that.
You're a useless bastard.
Then remember that time when you were 3 years old when you did that thing, and then it stops you because it doesn't want you to go forward. So when you get your system regulated, then only we can start seeing, okay, what's the ego saying? What's happening here? What's the loop? And then you can start acknowledging when the ego brings things up, because the ego is just trying to keep you safe. This whole thing of ego death and that's like seizing your engine and so your soul standing outside of the vehicle.
No, but. I've got a butt, you know.
Yeah. Do you have a big butt or small butt?
You said you're so conservative.
I'm not conservative.
Reserved. I don't know. What do you say? Flipping anyway.
I'm so far from conservatives.
So Scarlett, so listen here now. Okay. So a lot of I found for processing the emotions is crying them out.
Yeah.
You cry it out. There's tears.
Yeah, it's purging
There's
energy.
purging,
Yeah.
getting that shit out.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can find a place. There is a place where you can operate without thoughts.
Yeah.
You can live your life without thoughts.
Because you're not in attachment, but they're still happening. Always.
But they're silent.
Yeah, well, they're still there. They're still going. You're just not hyperfixated on them. You can't quiet the mind.
No, you can't quiet it, but you can transcend it.
Yeah, you can
transcend it.
Yeah, I get what
But
you
there
mean.
is a place where you can operate without it.
Yes. Yeah, you can't attach to what you're doing in your mind.
You can use it for practical things.
Yeah. That's
but
the mapping system.
But you don't become reliant on the thoughts, because
it's
the
only based
thoughts
on,
are a story.
Yeah, it's only based on what you've experienced.
We're behind those thoughts.
Yeah.
We're that stillness that's behind the thoughts.
Yeah, you actually, the soul that gets into the vehicle, the mapping system needs to be updated. Your fucking ways is outdated. If you're losing your way, update the mapping system. And that's what people don't understand is like saying that I'm just going to have an ego death and I'm going to raise the ego and I'm not going to be, that's your ego again saying, don't worry guys, we can be without me. We can literally steer this thing, and it's your ego actually having an ego about itself.
Would you consider the ego and thoughts part of the same thing?
No, it's not. So it's part of the vehicle, so it's part of the body. The mind is there to literally help the function of the brain and navigate the soul onto this third plane, which we know fuck all about as we are separated at the moment. So the thing is, if your mapping system, it's based on all of your past experiences, the way you've been conditioned, all of that. If you can become aware of the mapping system, so, this is ways. There's settings on ways. Okay, I can take the voice off. I can quiet it. That's amazing. Can do that. And then we start getting lost. You're like, fuck, it needs to update. Then educate yourself a little bit more. If you're continuously learning and you're giving it its true function, which it's supposed to be, then you would start being able, you can detach yourself from the navigation system.
Without just being lost in that story all the time.
Yes.
Because from my experience, the greatest suffering is mental suffering.
Definitely.
Because these loops that are running people's heads, like for instance, say a girl's got a boyfriend and suddenly he's like, he's ghosting her. Whatever.
Ghosting. But it's so weird because ghosts are very present.
But like in her head, like she thinks she's getting ghosted, but in her head she's like spinning.
Yeah.
Now he's got another girlfriend and a fucking
that's that narrative.
I want to kill him and I'll flip him, whatever. But actually he's lost his phone.
Yeah.
So like her head, I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah, no, definitely. All the stories and all of them.
A spinning of shit. But which doesn't exist because it's a story.
It is the soul giving the navigation system all of the control.
So if you can bring yourself back a little bit, operate from
you need to literally look at it like bird's eye view.
Listen, okay, this is spinning.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Yeah. That's it.
You're coming from another place.
Yeah. It's like you have to always look at your mind from a bird's point of view. Like you need to pull yourself towards yourself, but then take yourself out of your own.
Yeah,
And
but
you
it
need
takes
to
practice.
it does. That's meditation,
And
breath
awareness,
work
and someone like you who's assisting
psychedelic
people.
experiences.
Yeah, which it can be as well.
Yeah. It's amazing how we're talking about psychedelic experiences. It's very beneficial medicine for men to have these type of experiences because it activates the dream state in their minds again. It is like the feminine intuition that goes into their minds, and it's really powerful medicine for men to have psychedelic breakthroughs.
Like, like psilocybin.
Yeah, like psilocybin or ayahuasca. There's all sorts of different ways.
Do you think that assists men more because they're so much more logically minded?
Yes, so
and
it brings that
in
intuition.
a spiritual angle.
Yes, it awakens them to their own dreams, their own navigation, their own intuition. Where women also have quite a lot of breakthroughs, but it's a bit different because women are already intuitively plugged into the ether because we are the portals that bring the souls into this world.
Your energy is different.
So men need to find their dreams again and their honor and like their direction, where women have to reclaim themselves again. So a lot of women now needs to step in and start walking the path alone. She needs to become masculine, and she needs to balance the masculine and feminine and reclaim herself again, because like it's so essential. And that's when a real, like the woman really becomes herself, is when she can claim herself. She does not need anyone to look after. No one's coming to save her. I'm not saying don't need men, obviously we need that, but it's when that woman walks that path of herself, when she doesn't need the knights in shining armor or this thing that's been imprinted in us from like little girl stage, the fucking fairy princesses
Prince
and
Valiant
like,
and fucking
and it's again that they do it on purpose because they're trying to really brainwash you that you have to wait for someone, and this is why all of these things happen, and that's just another
but tell me, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
If you want to go into it, do you ever use something like psilocybin to help people?
Yes, like I don't facilitate. I'm not qualified to give people the medicine. However, I have a whole health space, and we do host ceremonies where I would
people take them through a process.
I'm very good with being able to integrate whatever information comes from the ether, whatever, and then to integrate it into your life. I'm that type of coach that can now go and say, okay, cool, what happened?
What came up? Let's work through it.
And then I would actually give it, because it's so essential. A lot of people go for all of these like DMT journeys and whatever.
Ayahuasca, whatever
and
the case
and they
is.
don't know how to really bring it into it, because the work only happens and starts after the ceremony, because you have to start integrating it.
That's a big deal. That's what I've also wondered. It's like you can have this experience and you can see some of your not so nice parts, etc. But how do you work through it afterwards?
You need to decode
you need a coach.
it.
You need a coach to assist you.
Yeah, so that's where I come in. I do that quite a lot. I've helped quite a lot of clients with that, because I do believe psychedelic medicine, the plant medicines itself, and not all of them are psychedelic. Let's just also put that there.
Yeah,
it's very,
don't generalize it.
Yeah, it's very, very essential for people to be able to connect to their dream state again, to connect to, because we used to be very activated. Our pineal glands in our brain, everything is designed to really block us from activating our DMT states in our minds. We don't dream as much anymore because we're exposed to white light all the time. I mean, we're not even drinking proper water. The water doesn't get sun exposure. There's hardly any salts in it. And like water will dehydrate you if you don't resalt it. So you can drink as much as you want. Yeah, you need to resalt it. And
it's missing the minerals.
And also, if it's not, if it didn't have sun activation, the salts doesn't bound to the water itself, because water is actually a living. It keeps memory.
No, it's got memory. I've seen a lot of that. That's
memory.
Incredible stuff.
So if you think about it, it's coming from pipes into your house, and by the time it
Chemicals.
goes through your tap, it's dead. It's not alive anymore. The water has now gone through a process where it's literally been deconstructed from what it truly naturally is in nature. And it's very easy. You just get a glass bottle and like put your water in there, try and get the best water what you can get.
Love or something underneath it.
You can even do that.
And that'll also affect the water.
Put a little bit of like, you need proper salt. So like
Celtic.
Or Kalahari desert salt's also really good. And then just resalt it a little bit. Leave your bottle in the sun, let it charge.
But we're such creatures of convenience, and you're like, so this water is like, it's not tap water, but it's been
at least
whatever processed.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have that stuff in it.
Yeah, so just
it's
stop
had all the
salting
shit
it a
taken
little
out
bit.
of it, but it hasn't had good shit put into it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, it's like, and they want you to be dehydrated, obviously, because then you dysregulate it. You now need pharmaceuticals because you're always agitated and anxious, all of that, because your freaking system is
So it just
dysregulated.
supports the medical...
Yeah, and then you dysregulate it and then you get home and you think your husband's an asshole, but meanwhile you just dysregulated, and if you did some breath work and you meditated, you're like, actually like, wow, life is beautiful. And it's all of these little keys, like being enlightened isn't this big fucking thing that you need to experience. It's starting with the basics of understanding your body first. You have this vehicle. That's stupid that you don't know how to work with it. You need to be able to put it in.
And we won with this vehicle.
Yes.
And I think what happens in a lot of spirituality is that people like disregard the body, and it becomes more of this like spiritual high.
Yeah, but it's
not about the spiritual
heart
high.
frequency is not open. They're too much in the air.
It's being grounded.
Yeah.
It's about being grounded, coming from the heart. And I feel it can be every moment can be a spiritual moment.
Oh, definitely.
It's not just when you're at church or meditating. That's all part of your spiritual practice. But every moment, doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing mundane shit, if you're if you're current and you're present, you're coming from a deeper place.
They call it present for a reason. It's a gift.
And that's where the magic is.
Yeah.
The magic is being present.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like, but you can't be present if you're dysregulated.
No, you can't. No,
It's
but I'm just saying,
impossible,
like you're talking about enlightenment, etc.
Yeah.
That's pretty much being enlightened, is being present all the time.
And it's the small things, and it's like literally like we are so over-consumed and over-cluttered and all of that, and it's so essential that people just start looking and saying, I have skin, how does it work? I have all of these things, like my body. You cannot be strong in life if your body is not strong.
And exercise.
Yeah,
You don't have to do yoga. You can do flip and go for a run, or
just a walk.
Just feel, if you get the energy going in your body,
because you've
you
got
feel
fascia
good anyway.
also. And your fascia is like almost like it's a plasma onesie that you have on.
Okay, I've heard of the fascia. I don't really know what it is.
It's literally connected everything from your tongue into your toes and everything. And if you don't move the fascia,
it's your onesie.
Yeah, it's like a plasma
I like
onesie.
That. Plasma onesie.
And it gets activated by movement. And if you just activate it, you won't age as quick because your fascia is hard. So after surgeries and stuff, also it breaks the fascia, it hardens it. And if you don't stay supple, if you don't move it, you will age, you will die, you actually get hard and all of the pain stuff. So it's so essential just to move, even if you just dance, like get loose, gooi it.
Gooi it in your bedroom.
Yes.
Put on the flipping radio. Put on your favorite tune and just clap it.
Yeah, and if you keep moving, if you keep doing that, you're transmuting energy all the time, and you won't age as much. Like it's all about this world is created on bullshit lies. Sorry, but it is. It's like trying to trap us into this whole thing of fearing aging and all of these things. So you live your whole entire life to not do something specific, and then it ends up happening anyways. So it's so fear-based, and I have this logic where you have 50% chance. Doesn't matter what your option is, how much you've researched, how much trial and tested. There is fucking 50% chance that it's not going to work out like that. So if you live your life on 50-50, it's much easier to make decisions. And every decision what you do and do not do, what you do and do not do, changes the quantum field drastically. If you decide you're not going to have your morning coffee that you do routinely for the last 5 years, it changes the quantum field. You literally try timeline jumping into another field.
But it can be a positive thing because you shifted something.
Definitely, you shift. So it's always about making choices, and people get a bit upset with me when I say it's like addiction is a choice. Everything you do is a choice. It's about making a different choice. When you become aware of what something is, choose something different.
And also, I think the more aware you become of the thoughts, etc., is that you don't jump on every flipping idea you have, because not all of them are serving you.
Yeah.
So you're coming from
Yeah, you can sit and wait.
Take a moment and consider what I'm thinking about. And also, what I find is that when people just slow down a little bit,
take a breath.
So fucking chasing. If you slow down a little bit, life still happens.
But that's
you
a
don't have to be
constant-
fucking constantly there. You bring yourself back
unfolds.
a bit and slow it down a bit.
Life unfolds. So literally here we
Yeah.
sit now, we have no ways of proving that there's something outside.
No.
You cannot. So as you walk in the quantum field, the universe is constructing itself. I know it's like kind of like far-fetched concept for some people, but that's how the quantum field.
Science fiction, yeah.
That's how the quantum fields work. So you are literally constructing things as you're going. So right here, right now, is all that actually really matters is the fact that you're here right now, because you need to move. And also the more you move, the more you're time traveling also. So if you are stressing about the past or the future, you are literally going into the quantum field to a timeline of yourself. You choose to have the shittiest timeline because you're worrying about something that's going to happen and it's bad. And you're literally bringing that into this field.
You're affecting your
and
current.
you are manifesting it because you go and revisit it, and you are literally worshipping your problems. So you are quantumly timeline.
But you think it's real.
Yeah, because
When
it is.
But if you don't know that,
Because you're timeline jumping. You're
you
literally
don't
going
actually
to
know.
that field.
People are just doing it all the time.
Actually, if you think
That's
about
why
it,
they're
when you're
miserable.
sleeping, you can't die in your sleep because your body actually really thinks you're going to die. So when you are worried, you are dreaming. You're literally in a reality there. So why would you spend time in a timeline that is not your ultimate timeline, thinking about the worst possible scenario? What if you just go there and say, "Oh, I'm being that little cunt again"? Sorry,
The
that was
worst outcome. It's so
I know,
bad.
like, and go like, "Oh, but what if I just manipulate that story a bit and I become the best version and I revisit that version all the time?" And then you
That's
just
got to
bring
be a
it
better
into
outcome, eh?
much better. I would imagine you go to the past, and then you can see people that worry a lot. They age quicker because they are moving.
But you see the stress in their faces.
They're moving energy. They're quantum
Yeah.
jumping the whole entire time because it takes energy to move.
And you can meet someone that you don't know, and straight away you know they're stressed out.
I know,
You
definitely.
don't know them,
You feel it.
but you can see it in them.
It's like chill.
But like, you're not going to say
Yeah.
that to them.
I will.
No, but at least it's one of your clients. But it could be anyone, like some random person. But
Yeah.
that the energy. The energy is
Yeah.
not. They're not in good. They're not in a good
they're
space.
in lack also. So it's that lack mentality of like, things, or the paradox in life. Whatever you are or embody, you would see the external of it, the opposite of it in your external, okay? So the paradox is, if you want to become a millionaire, you're going to have to come to terms with the fact that you don't have that money right now and you're poor. If you want to be happy, you're going to have to come to the realization that you're
not
miserable.
happy.
And it's that paradox in life is the more you focus, you cannot just embody like, positive thinking. That's one of the Hermetic like laws. That's only one. You can't think that life is like a linear page and that's just how it works. Because if you look at like two magnets, and two positive magnets oppose each other.
Yeah, because there's so much focus on just positive thoughts all day, but no one
That's
can do
also
that.
spiritually
Can they?
bypassing yourself.
Yeah.
You are literally spiritually bypassing yourself.
You're not looking at.
It's okay to
Both
feel
sides.
cuck. It's okay
Yeah,
to be miserable
part of life.
sometimes, and it's okay to.
We're still humans.
And in the end of the day, like, also not everyone's supposed to be a good person, because like, where would the quantum balance be if everyone was good? It wouldn't work. Like, this universe doesn't work on a state like that. There would always be the opposing force, doesn't matter what. So some people are destined to do the things that they're destined to do, and if they are bad people, that's their role that they need to play. So when you see that, rather be grateful in that moment, say, "Oh, thank you, spirit or universe, that I actually have this opportunity to see how good I am." That's just like bringing it full back to yourself. It's like noticing if you see someone poor sleeping on the street using drugs and you don't want to give your £5 to them, take that moment and like actually like thank your soul for not choosing that dude's life, because that could have been you very easily.
For sure. And you know what? He's in that position because that's life unfolding.
His soul maybe stood there and said, "Listen, we've been to Earth so many times.
Yeah.
I want the most difficult life timeline. Please give that to me now, because I'm like level 250.
I believe in assisting people where you can.
Yeah.
But there's no mistakes into the family you're born into, etc., and your choices. There's lessons to be had for everyone.
Yeah, it's an activation.
We're
Your
not
soul
all
needed
supposed to be
it.
fucking driving Ferraris either.
It would be nice.
It would be nice. No, it would be
joking.
nice, but I don't. It's just not real.
No,
it's not reality.
not balanced. Imagine. It wouldn't be balanced. Life wouldn't be balanced if we were all the same. And who wants to be all the same? Like, we love our dogs because he's quirky, only has one leg and he's chubby. And like, look how quirky the thing is.
And he's cool.
And then we look at ourselves in the mirror and be like, ugh, I hate the way I look. I'm not unique. And it's because we're dumbing ourselves down and we like actually like putting ourselves in a box. There's nothing more beautiful than someone that just claims who they are for what they are. Those are the most happiest, beautiful people that you would ever meet. It's
They're
just
content.
someone that just sits with who they are.
They're content with where they're at.
This is who you are. Can you change certain things? Maybe yes. Like you can decide
but you're not
to.
obsessed by changing those things.
Yeah.
And changing those things doesn't mean it's going to make you happy. You'll change it because you feel.
Yeah,
I
you
want
can't
to
change it for the wrong reasons either. People think that they often have this like, if I just have this, I'll be happy. And enough, if I just have that.
They're never going to be flipping happy.
And that's coming from a state of lack again.
100%.
It's like not having enough. And the world is abundant. The energy is abundant. Like energy is universal. Like anything you want is literally there. You just have to bring it towards you. You need to do the work. You cannot manifest something, put it on paper, dream it, put it out there and just sit on the couch and be like, okay,
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't. You have to do the work. You're going to have to manifest and bring it into your life. That's the key part that a lot of these like gurus and like this manifesting train that everyone's on, they're doing all of that. They're teaching you how to create the story, yes, but they're not teaching you that you actually have to put in the work. You can't just like this do the whole thing.
It's not that simple.
No, you have to now take the step, Billy, or whoever you are. Billy, I love you. If you listen to this, obviously you're thinking of me.
Whoever Billy is.
It's my best friend.
Oh, it's an actual person.
Yeah, it's an actual person. I'm not talking about you, Billy, but like, you actually have to like say, okay, cool, I want to be a millionaire, whatever your dream is, and then say, work it backwards. I do the backwards approach. So you script your life, your perfect life, everything that you want to do. And you go like that person, like what would that person need to be that certain way? So let's say a billionaire needs to have discipline. He's most probably healthy, like exercises and all of that. And you write it down. You're like, okay, cool. What can I do that would make me more disciplined now? Okay, let me start with maybe reading a book and actually finishing it for the first time. You start with those little
small things.
And then you'll see how quickly you then draw in the manifestation. But you have to break down the character, the vision, to a point where it's little steps right now because you're in a material plane still here. You're not that dude yet. You have to become that person and you have to resonate with that core frequency that person would be. So you have to attune yourself to the person that you want to become, to the things that you want to have. You literally have to feel it in your core frequency for it to actually materialize in this.
And you might find through that process the person decides actually that's not really what I want to do. That's hard fucking work.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. It's hard work.
That's the thing is, it's like, again, it's because you're
it looks
watching
pretty.
things.
Yeah. But it's flipping.
There's sacrifices. Job. You have to then work harder, then you don't see your
Forget
family.
Forget about your family. You got to graft.
And then you're miserable.
What's more important, your family or a fucking billion?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
For me, it should be family, to be honest.
Yeah, I think connection and love is the most important
family
thing.
And your circle. I mean, that interaction, socializing or whatever the case is.
And we just we led ourselves into a place where we've literally just we've tuned out of ourselves. We don't know what our base frequency is, and that is what authenticity is. Authenticity is your base frequency.
Our big thing is authenticity. That's why in this podcast, I try and be as authentic as possible. We come from a place of authenticity.
No, definitely. And it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking you need to be or act a specific way.
No, but it's not about that. It's about just finding that truth within you and expressing it.
All the lies and just get rid of it.
Whatever it may be. But like seeing it and coming from that deeper place and not trying to gain something out of it.
Yeah.
You know, you're coming from a place of like being real.
Life is a mystery and it's like an adventure, and I live my life like that. Every day is an adventure. I'm literally like a type of person that would start a week on Monday, find myself in Cape Town, like doing arbitrary shit, and then someone would phone me and say, "You're supposed to be at my wedding." I'm like, oh, fuck. I don't look at the calendar.
That's why you got a PA.
Yeah. I need an assistant, like literally.
That must be the reason.
No, definitely, because I hardly look at time. Like I'm really bad at looking at time, but I'm really good at like kind of not knowing where I'm sitting in time.
There's a sense of knowing of what you need to be
The only time I have to really like look at time is like if I have to be on time for someone else. Other than that, fuck the watch. Like, don't care. Sometimes I don't even know what day of the week it is because I just wake up, I live my life as it is in the moment. And I work for myself. I'm very lucky. I'm fortunate to actually, I'm not saying to anyone, like, let's lose your job now. Please don't. Don't just
have the
go
backup
into it.
plan.
Yeah, like, but I like to be curious, and my curiosity is what often steers
But it
me.
keeps you young. Has Scarlett, that keeps you young.
Yeah. I need to know things. Sometimes I'm too curious, and sometimes I learn things I didn't need to learn, but it's fine. I'm fine. I'm still alive, Mom. I'm still doing good. But it's
Your
that
mom, no,
curiosity.
going back, let's talk about your mom. She must have had times where she was like, fuck my daughter, she's lost the plot.
I've always been
Hey?
the black sheep in the family. I've always been the one that does all sorts of weird things. I'm literally, I'm all up for adventures and trying things. So like, people kind of expect, oh yeah, that's so Scarlett.
Yeah, no, don't worry. No. She's just being herself.
Yeah, she's just being herself, doing her things. And that's the thing is, I think people have to reconnect to that inner child and have like a lot
But maybe
more.
you're showing people that.
That's
By
exactly
being
yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
you know,
just
you're
by
being yourself, you're doing your thing, having fun.
Yeah, and I get paid for it.
Even better. No, but even better.
Yeah, like I do get up to mischief, and that's why I align with brands. That's why I love to be very supportive in people's ventures and things. I love listening to what people find fascinating. Also, for me, it's like and things that people do. I'm like, I want to know because like I can't do that thing. So for me, it's like interesting to listen when someone's really passionate about something because I don't fucking know how to do that. So I can just listen to their story and then live through their story. I can feel what it is like.
So what would you think of our brand? Just as curiosity, have you dissected it a little bit?
Yeah, like I went in
You've
there.
dissected it a bit with your flipping.
I did,
knowledge.
I did go and look. I like the people. I know a lot of the people that you've been interviewing.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And social media is a tricky thing. I can give you guys a little bit of pointers, like off camera. I'll tell you what to do and stuff.
We always keen
Yeah,
for.
it's just about
a bit of guidance.
yeah, it's all about
Scarlett.
knowing that they want you to pay. So if you have any logos or anything on your stuff, it will stop your visibility on the internet because they actually want you to do paid ads. So you need to be very specific with where you use your logo and how you use it. And then also, I call it the punch, like the jab punch theory. So you have to give more than just what you are delivering. So a reason for people to keep following.
Personalize.
Yeah, personalize it. So in between your podcast posts, you post other information and things also and stuff that's very aligned with the brand.
Yeah.
That's very, very important. And then more about the cells also. It's like very like...
I think it's about bringing a little bit about your personal experience, like who you are.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and people like to... It's the age of the storytelling. So it's really like the internet's taking off with anyone that has authentic stories. It's really going to change. In the next 2 years, you're going to see a lot of like content creators becoming much more authentic.
Let me tell you something interesting.
Yeah.
I think because this is going to come out one of these days.
Yeah.
So many years ago, when I was about 23, I took LSD and went into the jungles with buddies. It was my first time. And it was spiritual awakening for me at the time. You know,
can imagine.
It was crazy.
The first is always great.
Yeah, but in the jungles of Swabi.
Oh wow! Okay,
so
it's pretty there.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got a video of this.
Yeah.
My family, one of the guys who didn't take, he filmed us.
Oh, that's amazing.
And anyway, I showed it to Russell the other day. It's on a CD.
On a CD, that's cute. I love that.
No, on a DVD, sorry. It used to be on a tape, and I got it onto the DVD. Now
At least you got it
I've got to
the
get
tape.
it further onto flipping digital. But I just thought it'd be interesting.
You should.
And then narrate it, you know?
Definitely.
Because there was crazy stuff that went on there.
No, definitely. It's things like that people love seeing. It's like people love to live vivaciously. Vivaciously is not the right word, but anyways.
You're talking the truth. Like, this is the experience. You're sharing
it. It's all about storytelling now, and people want to get to know who people are.
Yeah.
There's really like this like rise of people they're starting to notice, are they being bullshitted, or these influencers are fake, because there's so many influencers that would support products which they don't actually care about. They actually really don't. They just want the money and the fame.
And you know what a funny thing is while we're talking about that, Scarlett? So we did some videos that were like pretty flippin' average.
Okay.
And Russell was still like, I don't know if I should post this stuff. Like, you know, they were like a bit like all over the place.
Yeah.
And he posts those videos,
And they do better.
like 4,000 views.
No, but that's
And
it.
we're like, what the
That's-
fuck? Is there a recipe?
Contradicted.
No, but
Is
that's
there, it's not perfect and it's pretty flippin'
That's what
average.
people are looking for. They're not looking for the
They're looking
the
for
polished.
more of an authentic.
So you can have your
thing.
perfect podcast recorded and everything, but in between, it's always nice to bring that like raw,
Just casual, raw.
unedited,
Jumping around
like
or
things.
not. We don't do us fucking jumping around or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Just a bit of, like you're saying, personal.
Yeah, just personal things like what you got up to, how you met
we
someone
went
at the
this
festivals,
way, whatever
or
the case is. Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
it's like it just brings in that little bit of like, okay, they do this and this more.
like humanness.
Yeah, that's it. You want to
Yeah.
bring that to the table always.
And I'm
It's
sure one
like-
day we're going to be catching you on the dance floor.
No, definitely. Yeah. Like I'm
Yeah.
keen. I can't
That
wait to
could be
do a
pretty
festival
awesome.
again.
So Scarlett, you're going to send us all your media stuff,
Yes.
and we're going to put it.
Put it on, yeah. Like
And I don't know if there's anything else you want to add. And
no, I think we've covered
you,
quite a lot.
I think you were very informative, and I've actually loved it. I'll be honest,
Oh,
I've loved it.
Thank you.
I've loved
yeah.
it.
Thank you for
Scarlett,
having me.
You're a
Thank you.
blessing. No,
Thank
seriously,
you.
you are, and I mean that.
so
Russell,
much.
Thomas,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us. We've got a
Thanks
guest
for having me.
tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight. It is
Yeah.
tonight. Cheers,
Amazing.
guys.
Okay, cheers.
Thank you. That was magic.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well done. You're flipping brilliant. Well
Oh,
done.
thank you so much.
I
Yeah.
forgot to say it.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, like
Now.
and subscribe now. Yeah. Awesome.